Okay, I think
Yep.
all right. Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of Word on the Air. Your host Corey Gilmore, my co-host Lauren Jones.
Good
Uh,
evening.
what's going on? What's going on? So y'all see the title. We've been going for a minute. Going for a minute. Just getting everything, getting our priorities, getting everything in order. See, I'm in a new see I got a new backdrop. I'm in a new space now. So I got a new apartment, man, nice and roomy. Uh and so and I'm in here, man. So we're gonna get back, man, hit y'all with some more content. But I see the title. 19 families buy 100 acres in Georgia. Did you hear about that, Lauren?
Yeah, I heard about it, did a little research on it, you know what I'm saying? Obviously it was started by somebody that was already connected to the real estate game. Uh, so obviously that was the foot in the door, inspired or however you want to word it by the Ahmaud Arbery case of all cases.
Uh-huh.
Just uh yeah, they've they destroyed, as they destroy documentation of history. Uh, you know, this sounds super brand new when in theory it's not. And we'll go a little bit deeper into that. But regardless of that, you know, I mean, it's a big move. 100 acres of land. That's a lot of land. Hopefully, I don't see it. I don't see a ton of details out right now. I'm sure it's out somewhere. Uh, as far as I guess what the plan is, you buy the acreage. What's the plan? What's your government structure look like? Within your city limits.
Yeah.
Who's who's welcome? Who's not? One of the things I read in the article was that one of the statements that was made is we want to build a city to show the world what a city should be is the statement that was made. And so I find that to be interesting. That's why I really want to I'm gonna continue to dig and do some extra research because I want to understand what the setup really looks like.
Yeah.
Because that will be somewhat indicative of the success that they have as a city. We talk about self-sufficiency a lot on this show, not dependent on the government, being able to raise your own food and things of that nature, education, all of that, so it'll be interesting to see because I saw that they were going to do some homeschooling is what they
Yeah.
were gonna be doing with the kids in their community. So that would be interesting kind of to see what that curriculum looks like. I mean, because I'm a firm believer that education is everything, and I don't mean going to school and being book smart, but being educated. I believe that that's everything. I think that's the key to unlocking everything is being educated, knowing, not only your history, but knowing your present, and things of that nature. So uh, I'm really intrigued by this. I do applaud the 19 families that are a part of this. I do applaud them because that takes work in itself. That really does to get 19 families on board for a common cause. It takes a lot of work. I'm sure it's nothing that happened overnight. So, uh, you know, good luck. Good luck. Congratulations. Good luck. Congratulations. Learn from your history so it doesn't repeat itself, I guess is the best thing I can say because this is not the first black city in the United States.
Yeah. What's the right now?
I don't know about right now, but just in history.
Yeah, history.
Hmm.
Are you referring to the Tulsa and the
Yeah.
Durham,
Yeah.
North Carolinas and different things
Mm-hmm.
like that? Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Which flourished long after the riots. Like I said, that stuff went away with integration. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm just gonna give you a little, give a little bit of some of the details. So yeah, this is from ABC 13. So it's a group of 19 black families, nearly 100 acres, south of Atlanta. Said just shy of 97, just shy of 97 acres. It's by a group. The 19 families, they came together. They're part of a group that's called the Freedom Georgia Initiative. Um, the Freedom Georgia Initiative. So they all came together, put their money together. The president is Renee Walters. It's in the city. Renee Walters is in the city called Toomsboro in Georgia. Said she gave a call. She saw an article about the land in Toomsboro being for sale and called one of the partners together, and they started getting everything together.
Yeah, the chick's name is actually Ashley Scott, I believe.
Ashley Scott is who the president is Walters. Ashley
Yeah.
Scott is the friend. She's a real estate agent that's with them. That's with them. So, does this look like a town? Will you be moving there, man? Will you be moving there with everything?
There's not enough there for me to say that this is the type of city that I would want to live in. Obviously at this point, because I haven't seen any pictures, but I have to assume that they'll be building from scratch, or scratchish, so to say. So obviously, anybody that moves there now is moving there to get in on the ground level, to be a part of the foundational building. And so, but honestly, and this probably sounds weird, but I would be interested in the governing body of the city and their mindset and their thought process around what they want the city to look like and what they're going to do to protect the city, because you know, uh, the one memory that we have that is a memory that most people know about is Black Wall Street in Tulsa, and how quickly after they built it, how quickly they were able for it to be destroyed. So you have to think, and I don't know. I did a little research and I didn't find any other cities that are currently black owned cities. I didn't find any in present time, and so I think my fear is the same fear that I have, as it relates to Black Wall Street. Is it going to thrive and then somebody's going to burn it down? And what methods of protection do you have in place to ensure that doesn't happen?
I think that may be my least, because there's always that looming fear. I mean, there's always that looming, saying, there's always that possibility that could have come. But I've always been for, put forth that effort and let the powers that be, and let whatever evil, for people that want to portray that type of evil, let them expose themselves. Because, it was a little, I don't know, everything's more kind of covert nowadays. Nobody wants to be overtly, evil like that. So let them expose themselves. People have gotten smarter. As I've said over and over again, people are so easy to be tricked into whatever type of thinking. They had people believing black people weren't full human beings, or according to what we know. You know what I'm saying?
But isn't that an oxymoron though? What you just said?
What you mean?
That you said that we are a smarter people, but then you follow that up with we're easily tricked.
We're still easily tricked, but we're not as dumb. The nation as a whole isn't as dumb as what we were back then. I would like to believe.
I got you. I got you. I'm digging. Keep going.
But because there's a level of progress, there's a level of progress.
Sure.
You know, I mean, just think of all the crazy shit that was going on. Just, you know, like I said, within the past 100 years. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of, you know, there's still plenty of racism and, you know, retarded folks out there. You know, I'm not, no disrespect to the LD community, but you know what I'm saying. But you know, there's a lot of folks that just morally corrupt. Morally corrupt. That's the correct words for it. But you know, we made some progress, but you know, there's still a lot of things that have to be handled. So that's man, that's just something that has to come with the territory, and that's something that has to be expect, you know, not expected, but just prepare for, you know, just prepare for. But yeah,
That's why I said I just want to understand what that looks like. Like you have to know that the possibility exists. And so with that, do you have a plan? You know, not to say you can control somebody coming in, but is there a plan? You know, because you could look at that almost like you look at immigration in a way. Who do you let in? You know what I'm saying? Who are you really letting into your community? You know, or are you trying to create a community that doesn't let people in? And that's why I said I really need to do more digging to understand.
They said they said they'll allow white people there, but they got to be pro-black. They got to be pro-black white people.
And see that right there in itself, I feel like, okay, well, what is that? Like, what does that mean? Like, we go back to, like you say, we go back to these ad hominems and these little silly things that we use to classify people. I'm like,
they got white folks in there shining. Hey, what was that? You see the white folks on the street corner shining niggas' shoes. Did you see that video from a few months back? They going, niggas shining shoes and doing laundry and running ballet now.
Yeah, like I said, I like the power move from a real estate perspective. I'm super duper interested in what the government looks like. You know, what type of permits do you have to build property? You know, different things like that. Like, what does this look like? You know, of course, they're gonna have farmers, but you know, what else are you gonna have in this city? You know, so like I said, you know, I like to see the blueprint. You know, not because I want to move there, so to say, but if I was interested, I'd like to know.
Now, one thing I wanted to, this isn't like necessarily criticism. Something I just want to get black people out of saying, because on the website, it says we are black owned. It says black owned first, and then it says we are woman owned. You know, there's nothing wrong with all that, but I just wanted to, when they're putting that emphasis on woman owned, as in, you know, going against, you know, fighting against sexism and different things like that. And I just, that's not necessary when you're talking about something that, you know, when you're I understand trying to build a whole black city, especially, why wouldn't you? Especially even, you know, with everything that's happened to black people in the history of black folks in America, any white person sitting up there talking about is racist and shit like that. That's stupid. You know what I'm saying? You trying to build, you know, you want people to lace themselves up by their bootstraps and get it. So that's what the black folks is doing. There's been laws specifically targeted at black folks. But one thing I want them to stop doing is it's not black people who are holding back. We never had that type of society where we're holding back women. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, black people here in America, black people had the right to vote before white folks owned mothers, sisters, grandmothers, aunties, and so and so. So, you know, we've never had that. So there's no real need to put that emphasis. But that's just one thing, you know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure. You know,
and it would only be racist if they said white people weren't welcome, or anybody else. Not even just white people, but black people are the only people welcome.
I wouldn't even say it's racist because there's no intention of, you know, we're building our own And
Okay,
there's
so maybe
there's no
maybe
intention
you use
of
the word segregated then.
yeah, it's segregated. It's not.
Okay,
It's segregated.
okay, I got you.
It's nepotism. It's it's discriminatory. But is it racist? No, because there's no intention of they're not going up there building their own city and then they're gonna go to a white folks city with pitchforks and start burning shit down. You know what I'm saying? I got one question for you. Now,
Maybe
last
that's how they
night.
gonna get some TVs.
Cause then they need the flash screens. Like, damn, we done forgot the 50 inches, man. It's Sunday, the game on, man. Let's run over here to that Walmart over there over there in Decatur and shit. Hey, so I texted you last night. I posted a story on the Word on Ave page, which take a look. Anybody's watching, take a look at the page, see the content we got. There's a story in Pennsylvania where they deemed that most of the Governor Wolf, Tom Wolf in Pennsylvania, his actions and his strategic actions that he took to curb the coronavirus outspread or whatnot, outbreak, they deemed them unconstitutional. I texted you. You asked me a question. You said, so do you believe that the mask mandate is unconstitutional? And there's a connection with the city here in Georgia and everything. I'll link it all together. So I want to ask you, do you believe that mask mandate? Because that was just one of them. It was the mask mandates that he had, and then the limitations on public gatherings. So do you believe that? Let's just stick to the mask. The question that you asked me: do you believe that the mask mandates are unconstitutional?
Do I believe that they're unconstitutional? Yeah. I would say so. By the law of the land, yeah, I would say that a mandate would be unconstitutional. You know, I think presentation is super important, in my opinion. You know, I don't think you needed a mandate if you went the right way about it from Jump Street. I don't think you would have needed a mandate. Well, I don't think the conversation would have been there.
Yeah.
But I mean, we are where we are, and yeah, by the law of the land, a mandate would be unconstitutional.
Yeah.
Just based off the law of the land. And that's no opinion. That's just the law. If I brought my opinion into it, I would try to sway people, one way or the other, but just basing it off the law of the land, it's unconstitutional to create such a mandate that forces people to do something against their own will in this magnitude, really in any magnitude. So, again, you can have the right intentions about something, but go about it the wrong way, and it makes it all bad. It makes it all wrong. So I think that, we went. Some people tried to go into it with the right intention, but it was already off the rails. So you could never right that ship. Could never right that ship. If you look at today, I see tons of people that don't wear masks. Tons of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They like, hey, man, I'm not gonna wear one. And you can't make me. You know what I'm saying? Now, a business can say, hey, this is my personal business and this is what my rules are. And then you have to make the decision on whether or not you want to give that business your money and things of that nature. And I think that's honestly probably the way that it always should have been handled is, educate the businesses, educate the people, and then let them make the decision that's best for them.
Exactly. Hit them in their hit the businesses in their pockets if you want to make a statement and tell the business, because it's up to the business. It's sitting up there you got the state and sitting up there threatening sanctions and stuff on businesses that don't follow directions. That's that's violation of their personal property rights. And like I said, it sets a precedent for future problems, you know what I'm saying, for a free country, such as a free state, a free town, such as, the one that these 19 families are trying to build. You know what I'm saying? It could put them out of business. So yeah, that's exactly where you hit them. You know what I'm saying? You let the people do the deciding, and then the business will have to go from there, because it's a mutual transaction between the citizens. I mean, between the people and the and the whatever business owner. So yeah, that's how you do it. And then like I don't have a problem like through the corporatism, like if they want to advertise and say, you should be wearing a mask and try to demonize anybody. I don't have a problem with all that, because that's the message that they want to put out, and they want to affect it in that way. You know what I'm saying? They want to do that. So I don't have a problem with that, but the mandates and different things like that, and see, that's one thing. So to bring it back to the city, and I don't know what these people's personal opinions on those different laws are, but like we've seen a lot of black folks, they're pushing back. You've seen they turned it into a bipartisan type of issue. So then when you see guys like Trump and the Republicans, they're celebrating it. Now everybody's looking at it as it's a Republican issue, or they see white folks out there, and we white folks, they do the same. Man, it's just so much ignorance on both sides, because you'll see they're out there and say, we want freedom, or or we want to get out the house, or something like that. Like they're making the argument, they're not being direct in their argument. Instead, say what the problem is. The mask mandate is unconstitutional because of the precedent that it's set. All this stuff. Don't go out there talking about and trying to be snide, and you start talking about I can't breathe, you know what I'm saying, kind of making a mockery of George Floyd or something like this, because now you take away, and then you have the people who aren't able to have objectivity, aren't able to have a level of objectivity. Now they're just taking it, as opposition, and now they're turned off. And they look at it as in a bipartisan issue, or they look at it in a racial issue, like, hey, that's how white people feel, different things like that. So I'm just curious on how the leaders in these 19 families feel on, like I said, do they have a structure? Do they have an understanding of the U.S. Constitution? Can they structure something? They have a chance to make something, even better. But like I said, it has to, they got to be fearless in that understanding, and they can't be putting, limitations on the people that they want to make free. It's a freedom organization.
Yeah, and that's why I just keep going back to the government setup. That's why I keep going back to it. What does it look like? You know what I'm saying? Who's on it? Like, are you looking at diversity of thought when you put your governing body together?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do some research, man, because I want to circle back to this. I want to gather as much information as I can, because this could either be a stepping stone to something different, or this could just be another city in the United States that's like the rest of them. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get in contact with one of these ladies here and just kind of get a deeper understanding, because they have a great opportunity like that. I think of if you separate everything from everything, like the opportunity is great, as far as what they can build. What laws do they have? I tell you, another interesting thing to think about is what laws protect the government from coming in and taking away their property.
Yeah.
Because it's been done time and time again, so what, again, you use the phrase covert. Things aren't done overtly, what I'm saying? They do it covertly. So would there be some covert operation to create some type of law to try to be like, oh yeah, man, we just auctioned off all your property. Now you don't own your city no more.
Yeah.
You could still live there, but you don't own it anymore. So it's those small nuances just like that you really have to focus on and understand. And that's why it's so important to understand the history so that you don't repeat it, so that you don't repeat it, I'm sure there's a historian out there. Maybe I'll do some research just to see if there's a historian out there that's talked about the 40 something, like it's a lot of cities, Corey. Like it ain't just 2 or 3 cities that have been, it's like 40 of them or something like that.
It's
I'm like
all
that.
over the place. It was up in Washington,
Yeah.
Washington State, man. Yeah, all
I'm
over,
like,
man.
how they have 40 and we ain't got none.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
You know, but I think those are important things to look at, you know. And so again, it's how your setup is, you know. Who's your who leads your agricultural team, who leads your educational team. Uh, you know, do you have scientists in your, you know, in your community when it comes to you know, agriculture and crops and, you know, all that type of all the small things that go into building a city. Because when you think about a city, you can't just think about the Walmarts and the Targets and stuff like that. You got to think about the cows and the horses and, you know, the chickens and the ducks and all that, and what they bring to help build your city.
Yeah.
You know, and so what it has to be.
It's hard work. It's hard
Yeah.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, that's because I think you
They
know
sitting around. Yeah, he's sitting around watching Netflix
Nah.
and flicking through a phone all day. Yeah.
Nah, and that's another interesting part of this is you have 19 families, but how many people are in this community? You know, are we talking about 100 people? Or those kids coming from already established cities where they lived?
Yeah.
Are they on board with saying, all right, well, you getting ready to go from being able to shop wherever you want to having to be out there on a farm, you know? Are you prepared for that? You know, because who knows? And then if they're not on board or not willing to contribute, you got a whole nother problem. You got to bring more people in, you know? So, yeah, you know, there's so many questions, you know, so many questions that have to be answered in order for me to be like, yeah, man, this is definitely a place that I want to move to, you know. And I come from you know, I'm in an interracial, biracial, however you want to say it. That's my household. Yeah. So I'm coming with a snow bunny and some little half snow bunnies. You know what I'm saying?
Some little mulattoes.
Yeah. So I'm like, can we come? Can we come?
Yeah,
you know can I bring my mother-in-law? She's older, you know. You know, so I know she's getting into a phase of life where, you know, I'm gonna probably have to, you know, take care of her. She's Snow Bunny. Can she come? You know, so you know, we want to be the city that the world looks at as the premier city. That's gonna take a long time. Like I'm talking about generations. You don't build no city that fast. You just don't. Like I look at where I live in Raymore. Raymore is 100 years old. You know what I'm saying, or encroaching. You know what I'm saying, 100 years old, and the first people that built this city wasn't here. They dead. You know, so what's the succession plan from generation to generation? You know, what does that really look like? I go back to damn, what's the name of that movie? Hunger Games, right? And the last two renditions of it, you had a city that was pretty much underground and nobody knew about. Nobody knew about it. Then all of a sudden, when shit start popping up, you know, and people start rebelling, the city pops up. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the kids were just as much a part of building as the adults were. You know, but there was no leadership plan. So the leader, the president of the city, ended up getting killed by somebody because they realized that the president was a mole.
Yeah.
You know, so again, you know, I'm not wishing bad. I'm just throwing it all out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Are you prepared to do this? You know, because this is going to be some back-breaking work that your kids and your kids' kids are going to have to continue with in order for the city to be the city that is the premier city of how every city should be, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Because and do you want that? That's another interesting thing. Do you want your city to be the premier city that everybody looks to is this is the level we should be on? Or do you just want to have a city for black people?
Yeah.
Like those aren't the same thought process, you
Right.
know. And so you have to look at that too. You know, what do you really want? You know, because if you're talking about I want this to be the city at the that everybody in the United States looks at and like, yeah, man, we want to whatever they decide to name it. You know what I'm saying? That yeah, this is how every city should be.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Like you better be not on your A game. You better be on your A plus game.
Yeah.
A plus game. And again, not just this generation, but the generations to follow have to carry that, you know.
You seem like some intelligent people, so I don't think we'll give them the benefit of the
What
doubt.
makes you
We'll
say
take a
that?
look at it. I don't think it'll be anything like what's that
Wakanda?
shit up there? Chaz and Chop up there in Seattle. It's that clusterfuck they had up there, man. But
It's not gonna be Wakanda.
he said Wakanda. They say they trying to make it Wakanda.
That's what I'm saying. Like you trying to make it Wakanda. Did you watch the movie? Because Wakanda didn't want anybody to know about Wakanda.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't want you to know that they had all these powers. That was suppressed for a very, very long time. So are you really trying to build Wakanda?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just a question. It's just a question.
Yeah.
And Wakanda was even separated from other black people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So is that what you want?
Yeah. Right. Because I mean, that's something that has to be thought of. You know, you just gonna let anybody gonna let Pookie and Ray up, slide through, man, and you're gonna get what you looking for. So, hey, it's things to think about, man. So
yeah,
man, we just give y'all something, man, real quick, man. Man, you got anything else, man?
Man,
before we slide out.
Nah, I'm super interested, man. Like when you send me this, I had heard about it actually, but I hadn't, with everything else going on, I hadn't really dug into anything. And so, like after I read a couple articles, man, I'm like super intrigued, to really understand how this is gonna work for them, because this is a big move. Like I think people do need to understand that part of it, is that this is a big power move, to buy 100 acres. And, is there another 100 acres right next to it?
Yeah.
To where you got 200 acres now, because you don't want to get landlocked if you're really talking about being a premier city. You don't want to get landlocked,
Right.
So I think all those things matter. Shout out to the real estate lady, Ashley. Shout out to her for her efforts in all this, understanding that this shit is bigger than me. This isn't about me. This is bigger than me. This is about, the generation to follow and the generation that follows that, and what we can create to create generational wealth for people of color. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better be prepared to bring Chico up in there, Y'all gonna need some labor. I'm just playing, yeah. I'm really not, but I kind of am.
Oh, man. Hey.
But
to it. Hey, they did say it was part of the whole BIPOC thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying
the people of color thing. So it's part of that whole initiative. I looked into their partners. I haven't seen too much in how they're it didn't say who their partners, who they're connected to or anything like that. Because I always like to, that should be what anybody should always
follow.
You always want that transparency. Yeah, you always want that type of transparency when when dealing with folks, to see what you're jumping into. You can't just let, certain things, be music to your ears and let that lead you like the Pied Piper. So, but it sounds like a good, a good initiative. Sounds like a positive initiative. We'll keep our eye on it. Keep our eye on it.
Yeah. No, I'm super excited for the prospects. I'll say that. I'm super excited for the prospects of what this could be. Hey, maybe I end up in the ATL. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this will put me in the ATL. Or really, I think like what would be even a even better move, honestly, and this is just me kind of thinking out loud, is can you take this model and take it to another state where there's 100 free acres and go find another 19, 20 black families or whatever, and put another, put 100 acres, smack dab in the Midwest or, anywhere else. Can this become a model, that you take other places? Because, 19 families is a lot. It really truly is a lot to get that's a big number to get people on board. I think about my family and how huge my family is. It's 19 families within just one last name. And then if I jump to the next last name, it's probably another 19 families. And I really do think about things like that, within the confines of my family. Like, is this something we need to be looking at, if anything, more than to build that generational wealth and start to close that economic gap between non white people, non-Caucasians, close that gap, the wealth gap, because that's one of the things I don't think a lot of people pay attention to. But the average black family makes half of what the average white family makes. Like that's saying something about the economic wealth gap in the United States that a lot of politicians, not just Trump, but a lot of politicians refuse to really talk about a real solution. They recognize the problem, but there's not a solution to it. And if you ask me, you'll hear me talk about education till you blue in the face, but I think that's the start. I do think that's the start.
Definitely where it begins, with education and having open ears, man. Having open ears.
So yeah, I would encourage. I'm just gonna say it. I would encourage other people to do your independent research on this particular group and see if this is something that you can do. I can't give names because I honestly don't remember the guy's name. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. But I know a guy that's working on something similar to this right here. You know what I'm saying? This is his aim, is to get enough black people together to go buy a bunch of land and start building on it. So it's not like it's a foreign concept or a foreign thought process. And so I think it is important. Like I said, we talk a lot about humanity on this show. We try to really not focus so much on race, but focus on humanity and just looking at black people as human beings above anything else. And I think that goes a lot into play when you talk about doing something like this and what that leadership structure looks like. Not only from an organizational standpoint, but the actual people, that you choose to put in those power positions. So it can be done. We need to do more. And the reason I say we need to do more is because it's a lot harder to destroy it when it's everywhere. It's a lot harder to destroy when it's everywhere. And I don't mean destroy it like set fire to it, but infiltrate it in a way that it's no longer what it was created to be.
Not concentrated in one area where you can just wipe everything out.
Because that's really when I talk about black economic power and things of that nature. I'm like, a black man should be able to build his business next to a white dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're not gonna go destroy something that's next to something else that you know what I'm saying, don't want to be destroyed. You know,
Right.
that's really the thought process and how you really want to think when you're talking about building businesses. As far as I don't use the word minority, so I'm not gonna use it today, but just people that aren't Caucasian.
Yeah.
You know, build it next to a Caucasian business.
Right.
Because then you know that the forces of hate are really there if they come destroy your shit.
Well, they come destroy this too.
Yeah. You know, so I think that's another model that could be used. You know, so shout out to ATL, man. Maybe your ribbon cutting to be a speech from Killer Mike. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, shout out to the people down there in Georgia, man. You know, very, very.
That'd be a good dude to get in touch with. Killer Mike got some information. That'd be a good dude for them to.
Yeah.
I normally, I'm not on the whole celebrity and musician, train and all that, but
he's grounded though. He's grounded.
Yeah, he's well grounded. He's well grounded, and he's one of the few. Like I said, I tell people, if you don't listen to me, you know what I'm saying. Mike, one of them too. He said, "Hey, make sure you know your Constitution, know what's in that Constitution, because those, like I said, that's crucial, man. It's crucial.
Man. Yeah. A lot of just we got to build that wealth of information, man. That's key. We got to build that wealth of information, man, to where we understand the laws that work against us, understand the laws that protect you, the ones that when somebody try to come in and stun on you, you could be like, nah, man, section 48 right here. Yep, right there. Yep. Get out of here with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so super important. And one of my boys, Famey, been talking about this since we was like 15 years old, man. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Know what you do, know what you're great at, know what you excel in, and let somebody else take care of the other shit. You know what I'm saying? Let somebody else take care of the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? You may be a great content creator, but a terrible salesman. So create the content and turn it over to a salesman. You know what I'm saying? You may not be able to be the face of it. You just may be the guy behind the scenes putting it all together. Go find the
problem.
Yeah, go find
the problem that we have today. Everybody's trying to do everything and
everything.
And Too many people trying to captain the ship and
you need people that had a personality to shake hands and kiss babies. You need those people. You know what I'm saying? It sounds weird, but you some people that ain't their cup of tea, man. You might kiss the baby and make the baby cry. Stay in your lane, play your position. You know what I'm saying? And you'll get results a lot faster. So I hope that that's what this city is doing, is you got people playing in a lane, and not everybody trying to do everything. I'm just going to do everything and I'm going to give you my little piece of everything. I don't need that from you. I need what you do great. I don't need what you do good. I need what you do great, because that's what's going to help this shit flourish. You know what I'm saying? But that's just that's a life rule. That ain't just for this. That's a life rule, man. When you trying to build something, do what you do best and find other people that help complement you with all the other shit.
Right.
You heard, if you ain't heard it before, goddamn it, you heard it here, man. I'm serious about that shit, man. I'm learning as a man what it takes to build, and understanding that you can't do everything. You'll kill yourself trying to do everything and be mad because you weren't successful. So
then everything, and then a lot of times everything will die with you. You know what I'm saying? Everything all work will die with you, because
I look at my grandfather, man, of all people. You know what I'm saying? I have so much respect for my grandfather, but when he died, now his business is still operating, But in a lot of ways, I feel like when he died, his business died with him. Now he had this grandiose plan to build something that his sons could take over when he passed, but it's not working out like that, you know.
Yeah.
And so as third generation, we're trying to do our part just based off of our respect for him, you know, to say, nah, we gotta keep this torch lit, we gotta keep this, mantle up there.
Yeah.
But I'm learning from maybe something he didn't do right, that whether or not it's this or it's something else, I gotta build it in a way that it has room to grow, and the people that I'm trying to groom are the right people in the right positions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The CEO of a business can't be the marketing director. It don't work because
Right.
your personality ain't built to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your personality is built to just be that leader. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes, making sure everything is flowing correctly. It's not for you to be the face. You know what I'm saying? A lot of CEOs, people don't even know. They don't even know because the CEO don't want them to know who they are. They just want to make things, successful, and so they play their cards the right way. So
We got
you
to
know,
get out that spirit of gotta get out that spirit of competition because it just breeds
you
I mean,
know,
there's nothing wrong with some competition, but it's just when you're talking about stuff like this, you just got to focus on you because, like I said, it breeds jealousy and envy, and a lot of people get unfocused. And
mhm,
like I
mhm.
said, they don't value the position that they play. They
Yeah,
don't they don't value the position that they play within the scheme of things.
yeah.
Yeah,
If you scared of competition, quit
yeah,
right now. If
yeah,
you scared of competition, quit right now
yeah,
because competition is supposed to make you thrive.
yeah,
When the pressure's on, competition is supposed to make you thrive. So
yeah,
yeah, if you don't want competition, you might as well quit.
yeah. You gonna have some competition. I'm speaking within the scheme of trying to compete and outshine the next. You know what I'm saying? Now you want to elevate the next. You see one. We want to be able to elevate, but you know we gotta watch how we talk to each other. And, stop trying to stun on each other and you know trying to be grandiose on trying to delusions of grandeur and trying to act like we're bigger than the next man because like I said that it just that type of energy circulates and it's reciprocal. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I can't say that anyway. I'm 5'3". I ain't bigger than nobody.
Muggsy Bogues, man. Muggsy Bogues, dog.
Yeah, yeah. But no, man, great information to feed to the people, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we're here for.
Yeah,
Even understand, even if we contradict ourselves, we only trying to help you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, understand that. Even if we contradict ourselves, we're trying to help you because we want to give you the full picture, not just our opinion, but the
Right,
full picture.
right.
So yeah, I don't have anything else, man. Be fruitful and multiply. And I don't mean have a bunch of kids, but be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man, other than that, man, so we'll be back. We're gonna have some more content. Got anything you want to plug? Anything for slide
Man,
out?
yeah, real quick, man. Uh Starting in October, every Sunday. I don't have a time slot. I'll fill in a time slot here shortly. But every Sunday in October, man, get ready for the fatherhood. Another extension of what we do here. But so get prepared for that. It's just gonna be you've heard me talk about it for a long time. But it's gonna be all things fatherhood. You know what I'm saying? Trying to provide information, resources, and things like that for all fathers, not just the ones that are struggling, but for the ones that are okay with just still want more tools and tips, to become better. You
Yeah.
know, so stay tuned for that. Interpersonal.com, personal.com. Check out that website. My guy Travis Bryan is doing some big things. He's building a very, very powerful platform. He's a crazy savvy content creator. So, you know, uh, be on the lookout for a lot coming from him, man. He's wired different, but you'll love him. You'll love him. He's wired different, but you'll love him. You know, shout out to my man's on the other side with me, man. My man Corey Infamy, man. This dude, every time I look up, he done posted some more goddamn information about something. You know what I'm saying? So y'all stay locked in, man. Where you at? YouTube now? You got the goddamn YouTube page.
Grit Culture, yeah. Hey, be looking out. I got commentary I just did on the officer shooting down in over in Compton. Over there in Compton. I just wanted to grab a little insight. I mean, put a little insight out there, you know what I'm saying, just based off of the reception of that, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I think there's been some new information, so, you know, we'll update on it, but I'm trying to drop that video tonight, you know, finish up the little visuals and stuff that go with it. So yeah, man.
Another content creator out here, people. I'm telling y'all, hey, we wasn't playing when we said we was getting ready to hit y'all in the mouth, man.
Yeah.
Wasn't playing. So stay tuned for everything. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Everything. You know we gonna hit you from a lot of angles, man. Sure, we need to plug the other thing too. We don't have a name for it, but you know, we have a small group of men, man, and we're really working on some things to help build the conscience of our people and things of that nature. We don't have a name, but we're all over the United States. That's all I'm gonna say. We're all over the United States, you know. So that's coming too. You know, when we talk about we building, understand that a foundation is built before you put it out there. So, you know, we're gonna build up this foundation. When we put it out there, y'all gonna want to tap into all of this, you know. So it's not a game, it's real life. We're trying to empower, we're trying to educate, you know, trying to make the world a better place like everybody else say, but we're really looking at it from a well-rounded perspective. And you won't hear a lot of people say that. Right. You won't hear a lot of people say we're trying to do it from a well-rounded perspective. People are trying to do it from their perspective.
Yeah.
So we're looking at it from a well-rounded perspective to make sure that, you know, you aren't able to poke a lot of holes in what we say, because we're not here just for us. We're here literally for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned. I can talk all night about the things that's coming because I'm super excited about a lot of the things that we have in this pot of gumbo, as I like to call it, man. We got a lot in this pot of gumbo, but hey, when we get done with the first batch, man, you're gonna be asking where the next one is.
Yeah. Other than that, all right, man. We'll keep y'all updated. We'll keep y'all updated. Stay tuned. Just stay tuned at the page, and we'll be back very soon. So other than that, peace. I'll let y'all.